Buckingham Palace say is issued on behalf of Her Majesty the Queen. The statement says the whole family is saddened to learn the full extent of how challenging the last few years have been for Harry and Meghan. The issues raised, particularly that of race, are concerning. While some recollections may vary, they are taken very seriously and will be addressed by the family privately. It goes on to say that Harry, Meghan and Archie will always be much loved family members. Now, I'm also being told, as some background to all of this, that at the heart of this actually is a family, and I think as the media we're being asked to give the family some time to discuss all of those issues that have been raised privately. I think it's also understood to be very important for the family to be able to take time to consider any response very carefully. And I think the sense that I'm getting is that releasing something today has meant that viewers in the UK actually had the opportunity last night to be able to watch the interview for themselves and to, in some ways, figure out exactly how they felt towards that interview. It's also being highlighted to me that it is those issues that were at the centre of that interview that the royal family are very much mulling over now and focusing on in a concerted way, with diversity, equality, inclusion and mental health have been really important issues for members of the royal family. And I think for them there is a sense of sadness and disappointment when it comes to the claims that Harry and Meghan were making when it was being suggested that race and racism may have had something to do with the ways that Meghan felt she was being treated, the way that Harry felt that stories written about Meghan weren't being taken seriously enough. And also I think what the palace are also very keen to highlight is that those issues of diversity, mental health, inclusion and equality have been issues that the royal family for a number of years now have been focusing on when it comes to their important charity work, when it comes to the cornerstones really of what they do publicly when it comes to carrying out their royal duties. So I think it is worth us just recapping on the official statement that we have had, which has been issued on behalf of Her Majesty the Queen, in which she has said that the whole family is saddened to learn the full extent of how challenging the last few years have been for Harry and Meghan. It goes on to say that the issues raised, particularly that of race, are concerning. While some recollections may vary, they're taken very seriously and will be addressed by the family privately. And she also says that Harry, Meghan and Archie will always be much loved family members. So there we have it. The palace finally officially commenting on that issue, on that interview that we saw from Harry and Meghan. And while it may have taken them some time, I think they wanted to make sure that, they put across again that message that Harry and Meghan, while they may have spoken out, while they may have been critical, they are still very much loved members of the family.
Yeah, and I mean, Rihanna, a relatively low-key statement. They want to clearly take the heat out of this, or so it would seem. But the statement does say some recollections may vary. So I guess, they may be challenging some of the claims made in that interview.
The word recollection, I think, does suggest that. But I think actually all along, ever since we knew that Harry and Meghan were going to do this interview with Oprah, what I've been hearing from those within the palace was, look, we don't want to get into the point scoring around this. We don't want it to become a real tit-for-tat battle, them saying one thing, us responding with another. And of course, that would very much tally with how members of the royal family have responded to personal crises over the years generally, that they don't want to unnecessarily put statements out there and fuel the fire and fuel the kind of media speculation. But I think with this one, at the centre of that interview were two very toxic subjects, both for the UK widely, but for a very important institution that is at the centre of the UK institution. And so I think it was inevitable that they were going to have to say something. I think when you look at that statement, they are, I think, very much trying to stick to this, look, we're a family, this is the family line, we want to try and deal with this privately. But yeah, you get the sense that behind the scenes there are going to be some quite difficult discussions, I suspect. And while, they talk about recollections may vary, they do say that it is being taken very seriously what Harry and Meghan have to say. But also, I think, and as we saw today with the Prince of Wales out and about at a pop-up vaccination centre, surrounded by people who were from the black and ethnic minority communities, and him speaking at that event saying, look, I really want to show my support and say how proud we all are to show the work that's been going on within those communities.